Ladies and gentlemen, today we have a very interesting video to get into because we have some great news, we have some bad news, we have some just news, and we have a massive leak about a feature that we're all looking for, and it seems like it's finally coming back. Let's go and get right into this video. So before we get started, I just gotta say, thank you so much for 19,000 subscribers. I know in the grand scheme of things and just, all the bigger YouTubers, this isn't much, but to me, I think we have a really cool community over here and we're building it brick by brick, and I think it's turning into something really cool. So thank you for being a part of it. So this evening, I will be streaming right here on my channel. We'll be celebrating that, hanging out, playing some Switch 2 games, talking about some news, so I hope to see you there. But first, we have a very interesting video to get into. Some of it good, bad, and great. Before we get started, if you could hit a like and subscribe, that would truly mean the world to me. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram so we can keep our amazing communities growing. And stay tuned to the end of the video so you can learn how to win some eShop gift cards or a Nintendo Switch 2. But let's go ahead and get into this video. So first, let's go over some news coming directly from Nintendo. And, every generation there is that quote-unquote gimmick. With the Switch, well, it was the Switch. The console could switch from a handheld to a home console. With the Wii U, I guess it was the gamepad. With the Wii, it was motion controls. With the GameCube, it was, I don't know, the wacky and goofy controller maybe? And then I feel like, with the N64, I guess 3D was a gimmick, and I'm not going to go through the whole history, but every generation, there's something there. With the Switch 2, for the most part, it is mouse controls, albeit I have not used them yet. I don't know if I'm going to use them. Hopefully I will, but I'll be honest, I don't really care that much. So maybe there will be another thing to come along this generation, and it's something that Nintendo, I guess, hasn't really worked with that much. For the Switch, we got Nintendo Labo, and that was our only real use of VR, or I don't even know if it was really VR, to be honest. I've seen multiple patents from Nintendo in the past year about VR and very weird and interesting choices for VR, and Nintendo actually gave an update about VR this generation. Nintendo recently released its financial reports, which includes descriptions of what the company's various departments are working on. This includes Nintendo's research and development department, which Nintendo says is looking into new ways to incorporate technologies like wireless communications, security, cloud computing, virtual reality, augmented reality, and mixed reality, deep learning, and big data analysis. So, there's quite a couple things in there, but virtual reality, augmented reality, and mixed reality, this does not sound like the Nintendo that I know at all. If they're ever going to do it, it's probably with the most powerful console they've currently had, which is the Switch 2. I think as this generation goes on, we're going to get quite a few surprises, and could you imagine sitting at a desk with some kind of virtual reality thing on and using the Joy-Cons and mouse controls and maybe some kind of bodysuit apparatus or something? It just seems like there's something there that we're not quite seeing yet. But yeah, I think this is just great news. Now we have some bad news to get into, as well as some amazing news / leak, or whatever you want to call it. First, I just gotta show you something that it's just great to look at. The biggest game that we have coming out this month is Donkey Kong Bonanza, which I will be doing a review, a stream, and a giveaway all in one day for that game. So be on the lookout for that. But I am very excited for this game. I'll be honest, I think it should have been the launch title. I know Mario Kart World is more popular, it's more of a household name. I'm kind of bored of it. I have not played it in over a week maybe. I've only put maybe 6 or 7 hours into it. Actually, I think the last time I played it was on stream. If you're not playing it with other people, it's really not that fun, at least to me. I'm not sure what I think it's missing that Mario Kart 8 had, but there's just an it factor that it's just not there, at least in my opinion. Donkey Kong Bonanza has that it factor. I think it is going to be a once in a generation game. Obviously, it's a new generation, whatever. I just think it's going to be a certified hood classic. I have to show you the new cover of the Famitsu magazine. So look at this magazine right here. I adore this picture right here. I think Donkey Kong and Pauline, I think this is going to be the duo. I know if we go back all the way to the arcade game, what was the first arcade game? Just called Donkey Kong maybe? I think that's what it was. That's where it starts, right? Pauline and Donkey Kong. I just think we have something really special that's right around the corner. And this picture, so simple. I think it captures that perfectly. And man, I wonder if I can get these sent stateside, like physically, and I could just get them. That would be awesome. That's what I would say if the news I'm about to tell you was not true. We have some bad news. What's new, right? It's always one piece of good news, 50 pieces of bad news. That's the way the world is, the gaming industry is. That's just what it is. It is what it is, and it ain't what it ain't, right? Trump has announced a new 25% tariff to all Japanese imports to the USA starting on August 1st. Physical Nintendo Switch games are imported from Japan, as well as Switch 2 games. If the tariff were to stick, Nintendo games will get 25% more expensive in the United States. Things have already got expensive one time. Before the Switch 2 pre-order came out, I believe. Yeah, the beginning of April, I think, they delayed the pre-orders because that was the first time tariffs were mentioned. And I think that was for Vietnam, not even Japan. That was for Vietnam, where manufacturing is. The cost, instead of raising the Switch 2 price and game prices, which are, they're already super expensive, Nintendo raised the price of accessories and amiibos and maybe something else. I don't think they did it for online memberships, but they raised everything pretty much $5 to $10, that's pretty substantial, especially when you're buying multiple. We seen in Canada last week news saying that Nintendo is raising the price of all Nintendo Switch consoles and memberships. So not the Switch 2, Switch OLED, and Switch Lite, and Nintendo Online memberships are all getting prices increased almost a decade after being released. So what do you think is going to happen here in America if these tariffs take place? The argument is, well, they will go and do a deal and the tariffs will get lowered or something will happen. I don't really care, and I'll be honest, I don't really know that much. I'm not here to convince you guys that I know what the hell is going on, but all I can do is read what is going on. I don't know the insides and outsides and the secret meanings. I'm just telling you the news as it is right now. Nintendo already raised the price of accessories. Memberships are definitely next, and then games, and then consoles. It happened in Canada. It's definitely going to happen here, or it could happen here. So, in my head, I'm like, oh, that's August 1st. It's still a whiles away. We're in July. That's less than a month away. So I don't know. Is this going to be another push towards digital media? No more physical games because physical games will be too expensive? Time will tell, man. But not great news. Not the news you want to hear. But don't worry, I have some news you do want to hear. We've already had a leak one time, I think. Themes coming back to Nintendo consoles. They were on the 3DS. I don't know about the Wii U. But on the Switch, we had white and black. Or dark and light. I can't remember what it was. Regardless, it was white screen or black screen. That was your options. Then, I could be wrong and correct me if I am, they changed the titles to Basic White and Basic Dark. Then Nintendo added, or is going to do it in an update, I can't remember if it happened yet, on your little Nintendo Online tab where you can redeem icons. You can set themes in that little area right there. And the rumors and leaks are saying that Nintendo's probably going to add themes, and you're either going to have to pay for them in the eShop, which, it is what it is. I don't really care if I'm spending $1 or $2 on a theme, or you will redeem them the same way you redeem icons. Again, I don't care. That sounds very fair. Well, now we have another leak that's kind of confirming themes happening, and this makes me very happy because of the person the leak is coming from. This is coming from Nashweedle. It has been rumored, but I didn't mention it until now that I can put a check on it, which means he can confirm it. Nintendo Switch 2 will have new themes for the menu, but it seems they won't arrive this year. As long as they are coming, I will be very happy. There's a rumor there's a huge firmware update coming in August. I mean, sure, why not then, right? He's saying not this year, but I just don't see why we would wait longer. And I think this makes sense to do. I think this would be a massive announcement that takes Nintendo absolutely nothing to do. The question that I have, and I almost don't even want to ask it because I feel like as soon as I start to ask myself the question, I know the answer, especially with Nintendo's business model. Would this also come to the Switch as well? I think this would be a Switch 2 feature, right? The same way we have GameCube for the Switch 2, and maybe game chat is only for the Switch 2, and the camera's only for the Switch 2, and I feel like I'm missing a few things. themes. Themes will only be for the Switch 2, right? It will cost Nintendo nothing, and it will incentivize you to, I hope you don't go buy a Switch 2 just so you can get themes, but it's just another selling or talking point, right? Like I was saying, I don't mind paying $1 or $2 for themes. That's the price for the most part on the PlayStation Store. I have a PS5 in here, but I have a PS4 in the front room, and I have like a Final Fantasy theme where it's Tifa like swinging her leg. That one was free, but there's a bunch of other ones that were like $1, $2, $3, some for $5. On the PS5, we have some kind of new themes now, but there's only like 10 to pick from, I think. I have like an Astrobot one that moves a little bit, but I could also picture them doing something a little bit more, especially with all the RAM that I think is like used in the operating system now, I believe. I can't remember how much RAM it is, but it's a substantial amount. That's why the eShop runs better and everything just moves faster. I could see still images maybe would be like something you redeem, like the way you redeem an icon, and then you could pay for like a motion theme or something. Or maybe you'd be able to use screenshots or something. There's so many options. So they're saying it seems like it won't arrive this year. Sure, but I just don't see why it wouldn't arrive this year if this is a real thing. So fingers crossed, man. But this is very exciting. It would bring a little bit of personality to the Switch 2, which, I'll be honest, doesn't really have that much personality at all. But ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about this? Because your opinion matters most. So in the comments below, I would love to hear from you guys. If you made it to this part of the video, you're amazing. Hit a like and subscribe and you get 1 million years of good luck. Every single week I give away eShop gift cards, and I'm going to give away Switch 2 this month and more as the year goes on. Just be a subscriber, like and comment to help the algorithms, follow me on social media to keep our community growing. Oh yeah, don't miss stream this evening. But that's pretty much it. Peace out.